Okay, we're not gonna mention the fact that there's a big pimple on my eyebrow, okay? I see it, it's there, and it hurts. So I'm gonna ignore it for now. I have been really bored during the summer and I haven't really been watching anything because I just don't really know what to watch, and I have so much time, and all that time can be used to watch something great and beautiful, but I don't really know where to start. So I decided to take recommendations from my favorite people ever. I wanted to see if my favorite people have good tastes, and I wanted to see if our tastes align, because if I like their music, then I must like their taste as well. So today I'm going to talk about the one and only Hyunjin movie recommendations. I did some research and I watched the movies. I watched three movies, and I have a lot of thoughts about them, and I'm really excited to talk about them because I love watching new things. I love watching movies, and I think these movies are worth talking about. So without further ado, we should start to talk about the 3 movies that I watched because Hyunjin said they're good. First movie I watched, Notting Hill. Never seen it. Oh yeah, all of these movies I've never seen. So Notting Hill, never seen Notting Hill. The Great Gatsby, never seen it, never read it, never indulged in any Great Gatsby media. I didn't know what the story was about until I watched the movie. All I knew was that Leonardo DiCaprio played the Great Gatsby. And then the last movie was, I actually can't remember the name. Third movie is called My Tomorrow, Your Yesterday. Never seen any of these movies, so yeah, let's get into it. First movie I want to talk about is Notting Hill, which I did write notes for. I wrote notes during the movie so I could remember what was going on. I didn't do it for the other 2 movies because I kind of forgot, but Notting Hill. So Notting Hill is a rom-com. It's a 1999 rom-com, so it's pretty old. It follows the story of a man who is living in London, living in Notting Hill. He's an ordinary man who owns a bookstore, and he meets a very famous celebrity named Anna. Oh, the guy's name is Wilbur. So, right, Wilbur? Yeah. Oh wait, no, not Wilbur. William. William meets Anna, and Anna is a top A-lister superstar celebrity actress who was visiting London and just happened to visit his bookstore. And the movie takes you along their love story, and it, asks the question, can a regular man or an ordinary person date someone who is the complete opposite of them? My thoughts. Okay, Anna. Okay, wait. We'll start with not Wilbur. Oh my god, why do I keep calling him Wilbur? William. So William, he was actually a really nice guy. He just was trying to make it out, and I think his relationship with Anna, when I was watching people talk about Notting Hill and their opinions on it, a lot of people were saying that Anna did not deserve William, and it's because Anna was something. Anna, she obviously was a celebrity. She was living such a different life from William, and she would kind of ghost him, and she would kind of just treat him like a side piece. William was too nice to realize that, at least at first. And what really did it for me was when Anna invited William, I think this happened. Anna invited William to her hotel, and then she's just like, oh, wait here for a couple minutes, I'll be back. And then William, I guess he was tired of waiting, he goes up to her hotel room, finds out that Anna has been dating another dude while seeing William. And Anna's American, so she's just visiting London. William is the London piece, whatever the boyfriend's name was is American piece. And I don't know why William didn't stop there. William was such a nice guy to Anna. I mean, like, even from their first interaction with the coffee, like, you could just tell that he felt really bad. And also bringing her flowers to that one like event she was having and faking his way through the day just to stay with her, and bringing her to his friend's birthday party. I think it was his friend's birthday party or brother, I'm not sure. Birthday party so Anna can meet his friends and family. Defending her in front of those guys at the restaurant who were saying like these things about her, and they didn't realize that Anna was literally right in front of them. So William went up to the guys that were like, hey, that's not nice, and didn't go as it wasn't like perfect, but the intentions were there. This one day where Anna and William decided to, you know, take it up a notch and spend the night together, if you know what I'm saying. Anna wakes up and she finds out that the press is literally outside of William's doorstep, and they're waiting for her to leave and take pictures of her and to take interviews and whatever. Anna was really upset. Anna was really upset about the fact that the press had came to her one safe haven, and now she can't really be with William anymore because now the whole world is gonna know. And she opened the door and she didn't know, and now all those pictures will be out and all those pictures will haunt her to the end. And I think anybody would be really upset about that and just be really overwhelmed, but she was taking a lot of that anger out on William when it really wasn't William's fault. And then again, she decided to stop it there. And I think, if I remember correctly, William had gone on set where Anna was gonna be to visit her, and then a tech guy was like, hey William, put these headphones on, you can hear what the actors are talking about. Actors were not filming, actors being Anna and this other dude. And again, they weren't filming, so they were, when they were talking, it was like an actual conversation they were having. Why did Anna was just kind of brushing William under the rug because, you know, the guy asked like, hey, who's that guy? And she's just like, oh, it's nobody, while William was hearing that. And then I think that was William's kind of sign to stop. He wasn't supposed to hear that, which I'm like, wow, William, you're so nice to a girl that's like probably doesn't deserve you. Eventually, Anna went to the bookstore again and was like, please take me back. And I think initially William had said no, and then he had realized afterwards what the mistake that was, to say no to such a good person, or to a person who cared that much, to go up to him and say, hey, please love me the way I love you. And eventually he chased her down and found out where she was gonna be, and they lived happily ever after, which was shocking. I didn't think the movie was gonna share like them getting married, and I don't know if they had kids. I think she ended up pregnant, I'm not sure, but I didn't expect the movie to show all that. I didn't think this movie was that bad. A lot of people just didn't like the movie. It's a rom-com. When I think about it, there wasn't really anything too crazy about the movie where I'm like, yeah, this is super memorable. Because again, it's just a simple rom-com about someone really famous and someone who's just an ordinary person, like what's gonna happen to them. Do I recommend this movie? I think so. The vibes were definitely there. It's a rom-com set in London. The music was great. The acting was good. It's just the characters that kind of get in the way, because Anna, she's the one doing him dirty, not the other way around for once. Regardless, I didn't think it was that bad. I mean, it kept me entertained. I didn't really think it was that bad. I didn't really think it was as bad as people were saying it was. So out of 5, I rated Notting Hill a solid 4, and a 4 only. If you want something with the London vibes, go for it. I mean, also the actors are pretty good looking too. I think Hyunjin did, I think I could see the appeal. I could see why Hyunjin would like this movie. I think this is very up his alley. If I were to guess, this is pretty up his alley. Okay, next movie was The Great Gatsby. Never seen The Great Gatsby, never read it. Again, I didn't really know what the movie was about. I just remember that one scene where it was just like a big party, but I didn't really know what else there was to the movie besides a great big party. I have a lot of strong opinions about this one. Okay, so The Great Gatsby, it's about this really rich guy named Jay Gatsby, aka Leonardo DiCaprio. He hosts these really big parties at his mansion. Turns out he is throwing those parties for a girl that he once lost named Daisy, hoping that Daisy would come to one of his parties and take him back. So this movie is not a love movie. It's not romance. It's definitely not romance. Daisy had dated Jay, and I can't remember what had happened for them to break up, but they broke up. And I also remember Jay wasn't always rich. He was actually pretty poor at some point, and then he had gained money from someone, I believe. Don't quote me on that, I don't remember. But Daisy had broken up with Jay, and Daisy had gone and married this other guy that I can't remember his name either. Tom. She dated a guy named Tom, or she married a guy named Tom. Daisy married Tom, and obviously Jay, everything Jay did was to get Daisy back. That was like his lifelong mission. Eventually he had gotten Daisy back. He had convinced Daisy that he was the one, and Daisy was like, oh okay, like okay, I'll be with you. Spoilers, all the spoilers. Jay dies at the end of the movie. Here's how he died. So Jay and Daisy, they were driving a car. They were driving home, and Tom's mistress, named Myrtle, runs out to the middle of the road because Myrtle thought that it was Tom that was coming and, you know, coming to see her or save her. Instead, it was Daisy and Jay, and Daisy was the one driving, and Daisy was the one that ran over and killed Myrtle. Myrtle died, and Daisy and Jay were obviously like, oh my god, what do we do? And I think Jay took the blame. But not only that, Tom knew that Jay had wanted Daisy back. Tom knew that, you know, they were gonna get back together, and Tom knew that Jay and Daisy were driving his car home, and he knew that the person that killed Myrtle were the people that were driving his car, aka Jay and Daisy. So Myrtle's husband was so upset and angry, saying, who killed my wife, who was in the car? Tom was like, I know who did it. It's Jay Gatsby. Jay Gatsby was the one driving the car. He owns the car. It was him. And Myrtle's husband goes to Jay's house and shoots him and kills him. Daisy did not pop up at the funeral. Daisy ran away with her family and did not even like pay her respects once. I didn't like it. I thought it was very mid, considering that this book is read in schools, and this book has won a bunch of awards, and this movie is known to be like a great thing. For what it was, it kind of sucked. And I had such high expectations, and it just wasn't that good. By the end of the movie, I didn't care about any of them. I did not care that Jay died. I did not care about Nick Carraway. I did not care about Daisy. I was just like, wow, Daisy is kind of she's kind of a you know, Tom, we all know he's a bad person. Myrtle, like, I didn't care about any of them. I was about to DNF the movie. I was about to stop the movie like a good hour in, because I was like, this is kind of boring. This movie just felt like it could have been done so much better. I mean, The music. The music was very off-putting. Like, though we're not listening to Beyonce and Jay-Z in the 1920s, the only good song in this movie was Lana Del Rey's Young and Beautiful. Everything just felt very out of place. I don't know. I thought it was an okay movie. I thought it was an okay story. I thought they were just okay. I know that Daisy and Jay's story and like their love has some kind of like underlying meaning about like the American dream and money and whatever. Because some people were saying that Jay liked the idea of Daisy, but he didn't like Daisy any more than that. He liked the idea of her. That one, I'm just like, I think he was just obsessed, and I think it was very unhealthy the way he was doing things, because literally, I'm not kidding, everything he did was for Daisy. Like, he got a house near her, the parties, like he was ready to just give her his all. In the end, I gave this movie a 3 out of 5. I thought this movie would be so much more, and it wasn't. It really wasn't that good. Sorry to Hyunjin if he happens to be watching. Sorry to any Great Gatsby fans. Sorry to any Hyunjin Great Gatsby fans. Last movie I wanted to talk about here is a movie called My Tomorrow Your Yesterday, and it is a Japanese movie that I had never heard of before. And it's about this guy and this girl. This guy named Takatoshi. It's about this guy named Takatoshi, and he meets this girl named Emi, and they meet, and Takatoshi's like really believes that this is love at first sight. Like, he literally runs up to Emi and was like, I love you. I don't even know you and you don't even know me, but I love you and I think you're the one for me. Can I get your email? From there, it's just like their love story, but Emi has this big secret that really impacts their entire relationship. It was definitely not something I expected. The movie started with them two being on the train, and Takatoshi saw Emi and was like, hey, he didn't say it, but he was thinking like, oh my god, this girl's really pretty, like this, I should take my chances. And Emi leaves the train, he follows, and he basically says like, hey, I think you're the one for me. Like, I would really like to know you better. Like, can I know you better? Because I think you're the one. And she's like, yeah, let's talk, let's do this. And if I were her, I would have been really creeped out. I don't know why she wasn't creeped out. Well, actually I do know, but they talk and they meet, they, you know, start a relationship. And I'm not gonna lie, this movie was super sweet. This movie was super sweet because the characters were like, it was a very sweet relationship. But Emi's big secret, she was living in like this parallel universe where time moves differently for them too. So this is where it got confusing to me, and I was confused for like the entire movie. Whatever happens in Takatoshi's past, it will happen in Emi's future. Like, whatever happens to his tomorrow has already happened in Emi's yesterday, hence the name. Takatoshi, he had almost drowned in a lake, and there was this woman who had saved him and grabbed him out of the water, and he remembered that moment, obviously, because it was a pretty traumatizing moment. And he's like, wow, a woman saved me. I don't know who she was, and I don't know if I'll ever know who she was. He was 5 years old when it happened, I think. The woman that saved him was Emi, but she's like 30. So and I guess when you think about it, I guess it'll kind of start to like click in your mind. As he gets older, she gets younger. They have 30 days to like explore this relationship before they don't see each other again until 5 years later. The day that they both meet, it is Takatoshi's first day meeting her. It was Emi's last day seeing him. Before they depart on that first day on the train and say, you know, oh, I'll see you later, Emi starts to cry And Takatoshi's like, why are you crying? Like, are you okay? And she's like, yeah, like, I'm okay. And later turns out that the reason she was crying is because that was her last day. That was the last time she would really see him and know him in that way, until 5 years later where they'll see each other again. It was so obvious that they liked each other, and it was so obvious that they loved each other, but they couldn't be with each other because of this parallel universe thing. And I think at the end of the movie, 5 years go by and Emmy is now a high schooler, because 20 minus 5 is 15. She's in high school, and Takatoshi is 25. He finds her, and then he kind of talks about like who he is and who she is and like what their history was at. And then also down the line, Takatoshi saved 5-year-old Emmy from like a fire at like this carnival thing, and that's where they meet again. That was really sad because she was like crying over these small things because she knew that she would never that was like her last time doing it, like that she knew that she couldn't hold his hand. Because like when they first held hands for the first time, Emmy started to cry, and it was maybe like day 3, whatever was going on. And now that I think about it, she was crying because that was their first time. That was his first time holding her hand, since it was like the beginning of the relationship for him. But that was her last time holding his hand because that was the end of their relationship for her, because she's going back in time. And before that day, they hadn't held hands, so that was the last time. That's why she was crying, and now it's starting to make sense. Again, even though it was pretty confusing and I'm starting to confuse myself talking about it, regardless, it was really sweet, and it was really sad at the end. I definitely think this could be up a lot of people's alley because it's different. It's not something I was expecting. I didn't expect it to go in this way. And again, it's romance. I feel like a lot of people like a sad romance movie every here and there. I definitely see Hyunjin watching this and saying, hey, this is like a really fire movie. I rated it 4 out of 5, right with Notting Hill, because it's not better than Notting Hill, but Notting Hill is not better than this. Actually, I don't know. It might be better than Notting Hill. I don't know. These ratings are just like, I don't really think too much of it. But would I recommend this? I would definitely recommend this to anybody who wants just like a sad cry, or just a little bit of a sadder movie with like maybe a hopeful ending, because the ending was pretty hopeful. So it wasn't like all super sad, but I could definitely see people crying and people being kind of confused about this movie, because again, the timeline is just like he gets older as she gets younger. But like, how does that work? Because I don't know. Well, those were all the movies that I watched because of Hyunjin, and my overall thoughts about his movie taste is that he's definitely a romantic. He definitely loves his romance. I think he has pretty good taste. I think The Great Gatsby was like the one little bump in the road because, again, it's just not really my favorite. But I know people like it, and I could see why people like it, and I could see the appeal. Okay, well, I hope to do this again. Maybe part 2 of his movie recommendations, maybe another member, maybe. Hopefully I can do this series, but not only with movies but also with TV shows and books, because I love to read. I love a good show, I love a good book, and I love a good movie. I think we all do. Hyunjin's movie taste, I don't think it's that bad. I think if you want a romance, definitely go to him, because he knows some stuff, and I think he has stuff that can definitely appeal to a lot of people. There's at least one thing that will appeal to you. Were they too mean on The Great Gatsby? I don't know. This is my first video like talking like this, so if I'm talking in circles, please forgive me. I'm trying to be better about speaking. It's okay, I did what I could.